You may think that that title was clickbait, but it definitely wasn't. Maybe a little bit, but it definitely wasn't. All right. This is how to make $6.7 billion this year. All right. By the end of this year, that's how much money you're going to have if you follow this plan exactly. All right. This is with day trading. If you don't know anything about day trading, watch some other videos. But this is the reason I got into trading in the first place because I have always been good at math. Math is just like it's my thing. All right. I love equations. I don't really like love math, but I just love the fact that you can plug in some numbers and then your output is based on your input with trading. So it's like if you put in $1 million and you risk, or like if you risk $1 million with a 1 to 4 risk to reward, you're gonna make 4 million if you hit that win. So this is like what I'm showing you guys. Right, this is the scaling plan. And I don't understand how people don't understand this. All right. If you have a good scaling plan, you can grow your account so fast if you're a profitable trader. Now, if you're unprofitable, you need to get to the point where you're profitable and then do this. So figure out how to trade and then apply these principles to your trading, and you will be extremely successful in life. But this is like kind of all of the different scaling plans that I've gone over and different ways, different risk to reward, win rates, balances, like starting balances, everything like that. This is different scaling plans that I've gone over and how much money they will generate you over time based on these simple statistics. So, right here you have the first trading plan that I went over. It's a 75% win rate with a 1 to 4 risk to reward, but you're risking 10% of the account every single time. Now, I know like typically people will teach you, any trader, any guru out there will be like, all right, if you risk $200, you need to risk $200 on every single trade. That way, since you're a profitable trader, you will consistently make more money than you're losing. But I don't entirely think that's true if you're trying to scale up very quickly. I don't know if you guys know Trades by Sai, but he supposedly, which I completely believe it, made $100 million last year and he made $7.1 million this past month. In the last 30 days, he made $7.1 million. And he's 22 years old or something like that. So it's like, that's crazy. But whenever you see these numbers, it makes a lot more sense. And this is what he teaches as well. So you have 75% win rate, you have a 1 to 4 risk to reward, and you're risking 10% of the account every time. So you're starting with a $100 account balance. You're risking $10 to make 40, and then you make the $40. So you're at 140, risking 14 to make 56. You make the 56, 196, risking 20 to make 80. So you get the point by now. You're risking 1/4 of the account or 10% of the account with a 1 to 4 risk to reward, which is a little outlandish. 1 to 4 risk to reward average is pretty crazy. So that's why this isn't my favorite one to go off of. I'll show you another one in a little bit. But you have 3 trades, which are all wins, and then you have your loss. So that keeps you at the 75% win rate. For every 3 wins, you get 1 loss. And sometimes you might have like 4 losses in a row, but there also might be times where you have like 10 wins in a row. Who knows? So the point is that you have an average of a 1 to 4 risk to reward with a 75% win rate, and you're risking 10% every time. So you get to 196, then 276, and then you lose it. You're back down to 248. After 20 trades, you have $7,000, right? $7,560. You might be like, dude, that's 20. That's a long time. If you took one trade per week, and after 20 weeks, you'd only have $7,500. Well, after another 20 trades with the same exact strategy, starting with that 7.6 or $7,600, you will have somewhere around the $500,000 range. Like that's ridiculous money. Actually, I think it's even more than that. But after 38 trades, you have $285,000. And then after another 12 trades, you have $8 million. And you may be like, dude, that's mind blowing money. It doesn't make sense. There's no way that's how it works. I mean, you can just think about it logically on your own. That is how it works. If you have this win rate, this risk to reward, and this is how much you're risking every single time, you're going to scale up extremely fast. Now, here's another one. All right, if you want to make $6.7 billion this year. You have a 75% win rate with a 1 to 2 risk to reward, but you have to risk 50% of your account on every single trade. So it's like if you win 10 trades in a row, you're going to do extremely good. But if you lose 10 trades in a row, you're going to lose a majority of your account, which will suck. But as long as you have a 75% win rate, a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and you're risking 50% of your account, if you have these numbers as the first part of your equation, then your outcome will be $6.7 billion by the end of the year. So you have a $100 balance, you're risking $50 to make 100, and then you have a $200 balance. So you're risking $100 to make $200. And then you have a $400 balance, risking 200 to make 400. Since you have a 75% win rate, on average, after 3 wins, you'll have 1 loss. So you go back down to 400. But after 10 trades, you'll have $1,600 in the account. After another 10 trades, you'll have $100,000. So it takes 10 trades to go from 100 to 1,600, but then it takes only 10 more to go from 1,600 to $102,000. That is the law of compounding. So if you understand that, you can pretty much plug in anything to any equation. After another 10 trades, you're at $1.6 million. After another 10 trades, you will be, okay, we'll say another 12 trades. You will be at 10 billion. What is that? $104 million. And then after 12, okay, no, this is 14 more trades, you'll be at $6.7 billion. You may be wondering, do you really have $6.7 billion? Did you really make $1.1 million today? Who knows? Nobody knows. But genuinely, this is probably one of the most important things that you need to understand in trading is how to scale. Because if you risk $200 every single trade that you do, then yeah, you can make anywhere from $400 to $800 per day doing your trades. And that's great. That's fantastic. If you want to make that much money, you can just stick to that. If you have a really high win rate, you'll do very well. But if you want to scale it as fast as possible, then you can follow these plans. And yes, like if you're down here in the $104 million range and you go on a 10 loss losing streak, I mean, you're literally going to lose like most of that $100 million, which would absolutely suck. But if you're very consistent, and this is true, you have the 75% win rate, 1 to 2 RR, risking 50%. The math does not lie. Whatever your input is will change your output. And my favorite thing, and the thing that I'm kind of shooting for right now with my trading, is this. So this is with a funded account. This is with the Top Step account. You start with a $2,000 balance whenever you're funded. Technically, you have a $50,000 balance, but you only have $2,000 of available risk. So you're starting with 2,000, you're risking 10% of the account, so you risk $200 on your first trade with a 2.5 average risk to reward. So you risk 10%, but you're doing a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward. So you're risking 200 to make 500, 250 to make 625, 312.5 to make 781. Obviously, these are very exact numbers, but it won't be that exact in the real world. But if you have an average of a 70% win rate and you risk 10% every single time, after 10 wins or 10 trades, you will have on average 7 wins, 3 losses. So you will go from a $2,000 balance to a $7,000 balance, give or take a little bit. So every 10 trades, you're doing a 3.46 or 3.476 times your money every 10 trades. So every 10 trades, you can just multiply that number. It's just an equation, it's a math equation. It's just how trading works. So after 10 trades, you only have $7,000. That's not that crazy. After another 10 trades, that 7,000 turns into almost 27,000, which is a little more significant. But then after another 10 trades, you have $84,000, then 292, and then a million. So after 1 year, if you take one trade per week and you do this exact thing, 70% win rate, 2.5 risk to reward, risking 10% of the account, which is totally doable. All right, it's not super easy. Trades by Sai has a 94% win rate, an average risk to reward ratio of I think like 2.7 or 3 or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty high. But if he followed this, which he did, and which is why he has so much money, he would have multi millions, which is why he has multi millions because he was risking 10%. And a lot of times, I know that he would say, like, let's say you're risking this time, you're risking 488, but then you lose. So instead of gaining the 1200, you're actually going down. So you'll be back down to like 4400 or whatever. Then instead of going back down, since you're confident in your trading, he would actually just continue to risk that same amount. So he could lose 10 trades in a row before losing his account, but if he lost those 10 trades, it would be absolutely detrimental. But as long as he continues to grow and continues to risk the 10% on every win, then it would continually go up. And now here's another thing. So if you are going down the funded route, let's say you start with one account, you have that $2,000, you follow this trading plan. After 10 trades, you have $7,000, and then you take a full payout. So you take out all of the money that you possibly can, and then you go over to you take out your payout, and then you buy 5 more accounts, and then you after 5 wins or like 5 trades, you get all of them funded. So then you're starting. So like you have to go through the combine thing. It takes you 5 trades to get funded from here. So you lose that, this account gets blown or like taken out. So then you reinvest it into 5 more accounts. And then you're starting with a $10,000 balance. It would still be worse than if you just stuck to this one thing because you have $10,000 here. You still have the same win rate, but then here you're already at $21,000. So it would almost be better to just do this and then take 10 more trades following your same trading plan and then take out a payout. Like let's say you take out the $6,000 here. So instead of taking out 7,000 and then restarting here, wait, take out 7,000 after you get to 27,000, and then you'll still be at a much better spot than if you would have done this. Because like right here, after 10 trades, you're at 24. Let's say you took out 6,000, you'd still be at 18,000. Here you'd be at 11,000. Law of compounding, this will make more money than if you take out that and then you have 5 accounts. There's no point in having more accounts. All it is more capital. But if you already have a bunch of capital in one account, just continue to trade on that single account. And right now I have this is like my practice account, or not like it's not a practice account. This is like my challenge account, you could say. So I started with $50 on January like 8th, I think, or something like that. I currently have $100 in there. So I 100% or like I 2x'd my money in 1 month. If I can do that every single month, I'll have $200,000 by the end of the year, which will be pretty cool. So I'm going to continue to try and do that. I think it would be pretty sweet if that was something I do. Right now, I'm in 3 trades. I'm on a short on Bitcoin, and then I'm on a long on USDCHF and then USDJPY, and it's playing out pretty good. I'm up $15 right now. I mean, that's up 15% on my money on 3 trades within one day. So I don't know. It's pretty good. I need to focus on this account more because I haven't really been doing it much. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Like this is the reason why I got into trading because there's so many possibilities. It's like as long as you are a profitable trader, no matter how profitable you are, if you plug in the numbers into an equation, you will get to a point where you're making a ridiculous amount of money. Like if you have there's one I did here. Let's see that. So like there's a 50% win rate with a 1 to 2 RR risking 50%. Obviously, if you do this, that's a pretty bad win rate with a pretty bad risk to reward. And doing that, you will make nothing. You will just stay break even the whole time. And it's like you're winning 50% of your trades and you have a 1 to 2 risk to reward, which sounds pretty good, but you're risking so much and you're risking like since you're comparatively risking the same amount, or like the same percentage of your account, you'll just stay in the same spot forever. So you need to figure out what you want to do, what your scaling plan is, and then you need to stick to it. Like this one's crazy. 75% win rate, 1 to 2 risk to reward, which is totally doable. You're risking a lot. 50% is a lot of your account. But if you're profitable and you can maintain these stats the entire time, like you will genuinely have a ridiculous amount of money. Like it is so much. It's so cool. I don't know. If you're interested in trading at all, I mean, I don't know. Just go into it. Look into it, do the math, figure out what different like trading plans you can do, and then just see what the possibilities are. But I don't know. That's all I have to say today. I just thought it was cool. I was telling somebody else about it, and I was like, dude, this would be so cool to post on my YouTube. So I'm gonna post it, and I will probably be doing more videos on trading. A lot of you guys have seemed interested in them, so this and fitness, that's pretty much my channel. Making money, getting rich, working out, getting jacked. I don't know, whatever, stuff like that. Psychology. There's a bunch of stuff, but I will see you guys in the next video. I know I'm not posting a whole lot, but I've been locked in on trading. I've been trying to grow accounts as much as I can and get funded. I actually got funded this past week. You may be wondering how I did this. I ain't telling you, but it's pretty cool. It's just funny seeing these numbers. $6.7 billion is so much money. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.